Fonzie after 5.
Hello and welcome back for another episode of Fonzie After 5, my ode to late night 90s call-in radio. Tonight I've traded my 90s flannel shirt for some cozy flannel PJ pants. Shout out to Land's End for making women's pajama pants in talls with pockets. Tonight I am joined by Amanda Majeski and Sam Handley. Welcome, Amanda and Sam.
Thank you, Amanda Majeski and Sam Handley, for joining me for this episode of Fonzie After 5. How are you guys doing tonight, and where are you joining us from?
We're doing great. We're here from our home in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
And where is Sheboygan, for people who don't know the mitten of Wisconsin well?
If you're looking at Wisconsin, here's the Bay of Green Bay, and here's Door County, and Sheboygan is just about here, just a little north of Milwaukee.
Thank you, Mr. Handley, for the infographic.
Yeah.
So how are you doing in terms of the holidays? Is your house decorated? Have you started in that?
We actually are pretty festive. The tradition is to put our stuff up the day after Thanksgiving. So we were able to hold true to that this year because we're home. Let's just put it that way. We're home. So we had a really nice Thanksgiving, very quiet, got to Zoom with family, but had our first Thanksgiving meal in this house ever. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were able to kind of have nice, peaceful time, and our little one, our 12-year-old, helped us decorate day after Thanksgiving, and it's a nice family bonding togetherness time because we have those special ornaments that we've collected each year from our travels, and remembering the memories that come with each ornament, and it's sweet.
It is sweet.
Family time.
We pick up one ornament every year on our annual travel, sort of the last trip of the year. This year, of course, we didn't have one of those, so we ordered a coronavirus ornament. So that's our 2020. But we also have, my sister and mother have started this beautiful tradition of sending our daughter a silver ornament from a company that makes a cross every year, and the other one is from the 12 Days of Christmas, so that she has these really beautiful ornaments that also we mix in.
Oh, I love that.
They'll go with her when she has her own tree as an adult.
Yeah, and my sister has them from when she was first born in the early 70s. I'll leave it at that. So she has a whole tree of these beautiful collector's ornaments herself.
But she started to gift a couple of the ornaments from her collection to Annie.
Right.
So it's meaningful. It's really sweet. I think Annie really enjoys it.
So when you look at the ornaments that you've gotten from your travels, are there any that really stand out, that feel really special, like you remember exactly? I mean, I'm sure all of them are, but any in particular that really trigger awesome memories?
We had, you want to go or should I?
No, go ahead.
We had a moment when we were starting this tradition of collecting leaf ornaments, like various leaves, yeah. And
edit that out,
sure. So actually, one of them is kind of meaningful for a kind of sad reason, because we had gone to the 9/11 site and gotten an ornament from one of the trees at 9/11. So that memory is very
there's a tree that survived 9/11 that has just managed, so they made these bronze replicas of the leaves.
Oh, wow.
At the 9/11 the Ground Zero museum.
Yeah, but then we have a leaf from San Francisco.
From John Muir Woods.
Yeah. And what else? I'm trying to think.
We have one from Colmar. We also have a beautiful Parisian glass drum from Paris.
Yeah, that was the year actually that I was performing during Christmas, which is not a typical thing for me. I try to keep Christmas through New Year's free. in normal times. So this was the one opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. It was Clemenza di Tito at the Garnier.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, it was rough. It was hard. It was a long contract. It was really tough to be away. I was missing a lot of family stuff, and so we ended up picking a drum for Little Drummer Boy. You know, the like I played my best for him for Rumpa Pum Pum.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that was kind of my
Yeah,
my
it's Amanda's favorite
yeah.
Christmas
I have
carol.
to it,
Oh.
and you know, Christmas thing.
Yeah.
You know, we all as musicians, that's like the thing, right? We play our drums.
Well,
So
yeah. Well,
anyway, it's a sweet little memory.
When you're pulling out your ornaments, do either of you have ornaments from your own childhood that have come with you?
No,
No, fresh
Mm-mm.
start.
Fresh start.
I think like, did you make ornaments as a kid? I'm pretty sure I did, but I think my mother threw them away because I don't see them at my parents' house either. It's just it's all kind of new generic stuff, which is beautiful, but I don't see any of my own craftsmanship.
No pipe cleaner trees or
Yeah. And we did a lot of that stuff. My family did one time. For some reason, all the parents had to work. I guess I don't remember why the situation was, but all the parents had to work up until like the day before Christmas. And so we all got tossed to my grandmother's house with one aunt. And they were like, we have no idea how we're going to make this happen with all these kids and just the two of us. And so they did Camp Christmas, and they ran it, you know, like I don't know what's the like what's it boot camp. They ran it like boot camp. And we would have a regimen of this much. We had craft time and we had outdoor time, you know, all that stuff. And we cut off, you know, cut up egg cartons and used pipe cleaners to make little bells. And we did you know, the string and yarn around balloons and, you know, all kinds of different stuff to get ready for Christmas. And in addition to going with my grandfather to get the tree every year, which is always
Unique.
it would have been documentable if it weren't illegal, because we would just drive along the interstate and until we saw one, and then he would get out and maybe one or two of my other cousins would get out and I would grab the chainsaw, and as we were like going up the hill toward the tree I would start the chainsaw, so we were just like you know, again another military operation.
like
And
a heist.
yeah, it was planned, it was practiced, and it was always, you know, just like get in and have a couple people tromp down the stuff around the tree so that I could get right in there with the chainsaw, or have it, or Pop would get in there, and then we'd pull it out, and I mean, then never stop moving. The car was never turned off, and it was just like make sure there aren't any state troopers coming by or anything like that.
Did you ever have a Griswoldian experience and discover a squirrel in the tree once you put it inside?
No, we never did that, but I feel like that was a pretty Griswoldian experience in general.
We had a fake tree.
If you think about it, it was kind of a service to the forestry department because you can't have an overgrowth. You know, you have to, for fire hazards and things, you need to manage that stuff.
They are trees that would be within the easement of the interstate, so they would be cut down, you know, and trimmed down eventually. So I mean, it wasn't like a great injustice to the environment, but it was not legal. But we were all minors, and so, you know, we blame our grandfather.
I was gonna say, not your grandfather.
Well, he's dead now.
I mean, that makes the chainsaw part even better. We were all minors.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, where did you get your Christmas trees from as a kid?
A fake tree.
Service merchandise?
Yeah, maybe service merchandise. I don't know. It was a fake tree with the snow on it, you know, like pre-snowed tree that lived in our basement. And it would come up, the tree would get put up. And then I just remember as a kid trying to pick the snow off of the tree.
Ooh, I bet
That
your
was
dad
the
loved
very
that.
satisfying thing, but I would do it on the sly. When nobody was looking, I would just pick the snow off. And eventually that tree got disgusting and decrepit and it's gone now
We didn't
into
have
the
any snow
abyss.
left.
Yeah, no snow left, into the abyss with all of my childhood artwork, apparently.
Oh, that fake snow kind of always reminds me of the frosted mini wheats.
Yeah, it was a frosted mini wheats
Oh,
tree.
but I love
They're,
frosted mini wheats.
they're
Do you
delicious.
eat the mini wheats like you kind of like scrape at the sugar part first? Because I do that too.
Oh, I make sugary milk.
Your day after Thanksgiving decorating tradition, did that come from your childhoods? Was that a thing you guys did at home too?
Sam feels really strongly about the day of decorating, but I
Well,
don't know why. Why?
what I feel strongly is that it has to wait until after Thanksgiving, and you say, okay, so Friday. So that's why it winds up being the day after Thanksgiving.
Well, there you
Do you
go.
like have any special treats, or do you make a holiday like a hot toddy or hot chocolate, or do you have while you decorate or anything like that?
It sounds good.
Yeah, we do it's sort of a, what would you call it, mulled wine that we just put some wine and cider and spices and keep boiling on the stove for pretty much until,
The whole season.
yeah.
It smells kind of like some sort of cinnamon roll meets apple pie experience. It's delicious, but you don't eat it, but it just like inspires constant hunger. It just it just makes you want to keep reaching for food in the fridge. It's delightful, but it makes the whole house kind of smell Christmassy and delicious.
But we'll start making some boiled custard, which is, like eggnog, but, a drinkable pudding that
Ah.
we also add a little bourbon to sometimes, but that is a family thing. And then I got Alan Darling's mother's recipe for shortbread
Oh
that
yeah.
that I've started making, I guess for years now. We make every year. And then
It's excellent.
yeah,
It is.
those two go really well together.
I third that. It is super yummy.
Yes, yes. Is there anything else that we very specifically make? And we've been trying a few things occasionally from your family's recipe, the cookies, the lard cookies. What one of those? Cookies that Kolachkis, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my family does a lot of kind of Polish traditional stuff, usually on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But we share. Do you do this too, Emily? The oplatki. I'm butchering the name like it
Oh
horribly.
yeah, do the
Um,
oplatki for sure.
yeah. We always do that, and we do this mushroom soup. That do you do mushroom soup? Is that a thing?
What's in that?
Mushrooms, just Polish mushrooms.
It's a cream. It's basically a cream soup with mushrooms. But
But it's a very particular Polish mushroom. I've
Yeah.
never really seen anything. You have to go to a special Polish deli.
or a place called Amazon.com.
No, no, that's not how it. Is that what you did? Oh boy.
When you think about your childhoods and Christmas with your grandparents or your big families, does anything jump out at you? Was there a Christmas where you got a present that you really wanted, or something that sticks in your mind, the year of the most amazing childhood present, or presents not a big thing? Or can you think of a funny present that you didn't want and you got anyway, or anything like that?
It's wild, and this maybe says a lot about my personality, but as soon as you said that, I remembered a gift that I was not happy about.
You tell. I won't get you it.
Well, no. Like as a kid, I remember I had cousins who were twin girls who are about 5-6 years older, and I always looked up to them and kind of revered them and just thought they were the coolest. And they would always get these like really, no matter what the gift was, it seemed like it was a grown-up gift. And somehow my gifts were always a reflection of my like lesser age. So I have one memory of them getting some sort of stuffed animal that was just really cool looking, and I ended up with Polly Pocket. Um, no hate on Polly Pocket. I mean, that's a solid gift, but for some reason it was just like the maturity thing.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what it was, whatever the gift was, it was never as cool as whatever my cousins got, just because I thought they were cooler. So I have a lot of memories of that, of like not living up. What is, oh boy. Think that one through. That's
Gratitude.
interesting. Yeah.
Thankfulness and gratitude in this season.
Well, I've come around, obviously.
There's someone that's really easy for you to shop for now and someone that's really hard, or
Everyone's hard. He's hard to shop for.
Not if you get me what I want.
But like the things on his list, let me just, may I just
Keep in mind, I have a bit of tongue in cheek with this.
chainsaw.
to get those side of the road
It's
Christmas
a family
trees down.
item.
I mean,
Cane sword.
I thought that would be fun.
What is a cane sword?
oh, I know, but you pull the sword. My grandparents had one in there. No, it was a flask. Anyway,
Wolf watch winder.
For an automatic watch, so you don't have to reset it if you don't put it back, put it back on for a while.
Mattarello.
That's for making. I took a cooking class in Italy, and it's for making pasta. The rolling pin for pasta.
It's a complex list.
Oh, you didn't even get
I
started.
do have a really good gift to memory also of getting a bike one year, like a Huffy bike.
oh yeah.
And my Santa had put it against the fireplace to kind of like present the gift.
Yeah.
Coming downstairs and being really excited about this bike. And I instantly, like I think most kids would do, instantly got on the bike. But in doing so, I kind of pulled at my stocking, which was positioned on the mantle with one of those like heavy, I don't know what the material was, but like a
weighted
cement
hooks,
brick, basically. It's like a cement brick Santa stocking holder, and it hit me on the head. And
It's not funny.
I'm pretty
You
sure
were wearing your helmet.
Been wearing your helmet. Been trying to tell you for years.
I'm pretty sure I was concussed because I have a dent now in my head. Right here. Wait, right. Can you feel that? Yeah. It's a small dent.
I did remember something. My grandmother, after I switched to singing, my grandmother gave me a really nice fountain pen, which I had asked for a while before, but they were like, you don't need a fountain pen. Nobody uses fountain pens anymore. And then she did get me the fountain pen I had asked for several years later. And I have signed every contract that I've had since then with that pen.
Oh, that's actually really special. I love that.
Yeah. I've had that pen for 25 years almost now.
Wow, that's special. I love that.
Yeah.
But do you enjoy shopping for Annie? Does Annie make a list? Are you still Santa-ing, or are we not Santa-ing, or what's?
We're helping Santa a lot more. Santa, we are definitely at the point where we are all Santa helpers. So
Yeah.
We've been helping Santa for several years now.
And you can really like be Santa. That's
Yeah.
the privilege of like being this, going from receiving from Santa to actually being the Santa.
Yeah. What's hot on the list for 12-year-olds this year?
No idea.
Shockingly, a lot of like really girly things, like stereotypically girly things. It's like makeup is on the list.
Oh,
Face masks, not COVID, are on the list. Like that's actually how she wrote it. Face
Not a COVID mask.
oh, that's kind of tragic.
Yeah.
Not COVID.
bath bombs, like what else is on there?
Self-care. It's all the self-care.
Yeah,
It is,
yeah, it
yeah.
was kind of surprising to both of us, really, because that's kind of the first year, at least that we know of, that she's really asked for that sort of that much kind of
So no Polly Pockets this year. That's
No
kind of
Polly
fun. I mean,
Pockets.
it's a new chapter in Santa's, shopping list.
Excited about it. I have to say, I was like, we got to do. And do you want a caboodle? And Janny's like, oh yeah, the caboodle, because those they still make those, shockingly. But yeah, they're like super cool.
Yeah.
Excited. I'm like, we're gonna get a caboodle, and we're gonna get some like decent makeup brushes, and
I showed her my
and all
caboodle.
sorts of
Full of what, fishing tackle?
yeah.
The thing is in that toolbox, it's filled with stage makeup. That's what I thought.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And show and tell a little.
We don't have to do too much, but wait, let me see if I can find the one thing that's cool. You may remember the great Rick Jarvie.
Yeah.
This nose for me.
You gotta turn to the side.
Wow.
Funny story about that nose is one time I was taking Annie to her school Halloween party, and I said, "Oh, should I dress up?" She was like, "No," and then she said, "Maybe you could put on the nose." Okay. So I had put it on, and I hadn't done anything else makeup wise. I just put on that and had some sunglasses on because we were about to head out. This was right after we moved here, and it was the first time I met our neighbors across the street. And I had totally forgotten I had that nose on when I met our neighbor across the street, and I think he was just like,
No wonder they don't talk to us very much.
So Amanda, I know your mom is a nurse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you have any holidays where your mom had to work, or was she able to get out of that? Or
Yeah, we did. A lot of times, not usually not Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but sometimes one of the two. So I have a lot of memories of going to my mom's side of the family for Christmas Eve with just my dad. And then I remember on those times, he would do a drive around my aunt's neighborhood to look at people's Christmas lights. I remember it was always a sweet
you guys
memory.
strike me, and I might be wrong, but you strike me as slipper people. Are you? That was just a wild guess.
I don't have them here. Yeah, I'm not wearing any right now, but usually I do.
these are on my feet right now. Well, not this one.
Why do we strike you as slipper people? I'm just kind of curious. Is that a good
Well,
thing?
I just feel like you'd have a specific slipper in mind. Like if you were going to get new slippers, like you would have criteria. I feel.
Did you point at me?
Well, that was your gift this year.
This is my third pair of these.
And free advertising, but can you plug them? What makes them your go-to slipper, or what kind are they?
Well, they're made by Overland, and they're shearling, so they're very warm, and they have a rubber sole. So if I need to, run out onto the porch or something like that, then that's also fine. But eventually they do wear out. So like I said, this is my third pair, and Jen wore 20 years, I guess. Yeah.
Mine are knockoff Uggs that I got at the Silk Market in Beijing, China.
Oh, that's a great story.
We got that. That was a back room transaction.
We got them to take us to that back room where they had all the like fancier, more solid versions of knockoffs.
I love it. Are they shearling as well? Or
Oh, I think they are. They might have been alive at some point. I don't know if it was actually a sheep.
you send out a card, and when you were kids, is that something your families did, was send out a card? I know some people did Christmas letters and all sorts of stuff. What was kind of your card sending background?
We do cards. We do cards. We do cards. And we do like a little handwritten note on each card. We don't usually do the picture and the update. I like the handwritten, just the little personal thing.
Yeah.
we do dramatic readings of anyone who sends us a Christmas letter.
Be warned. They,
Usually with a drink at the end of the night, we go through whoever's Christmas letter.
it's not meant to be disrespectful. Grandfather was pretty sweet about it. He would just he would just pick up the phone and, it's like, oh, we haven't heard from the Callenbergs in a while. And he would just call them on the phone. This was before cell phones and
Yeah.
email and all that. So he would just call people, which I still think is very nice to just call people out of the blue and say, just thinking about you. What are you guys up to?
Yeah. Did he have an address book? Did they have or something where they kept all the phone numbers or?
Well, they did have a book for, especially out of town people, but they had above the phone in the kitchen, they had this numbers list that only had, it would be like Peavy's Hut 9048, or maybe, or the Kirklands 5737. I just switched those. The Kirklands were 9048 and Peavy's was 5737. And so you didn't have, and I remember people would be like, there are only 4 digits to phone numbers here, because it's a pretty small town, but they all had the same prefix and it's obviously the same area code. So my grandparents only wrote down those 4 digits, which was kind of crazy. But consequently, I still remember that Peavy's is 5737.
I love that. That's really unique. I love those little memories about your grandparents and, obviously nobody's got anything like that nobody's got a phone to put anything above, anymore.
Right.
Yeah. It was so much fun talking to both of you. And before we say goodnight, I just wanted to know what song you'd like to hear tonight and who you would like to dedicate it to.
We'd like to hear Counting Your Blessings from White Christmas, dedicated to my mom, Denise Majeski. We watch that movie every single year together. It's a special moment for our family. And my mom has been a nurse for over 40 years. She's been working so hard during this time, trying to support her staff and keep them safe while keeping herself safe. It's been a really stressful time, I know, for her. She deserves a little pep in her step.
All right. Well, here are Madison Leonard and Shea Owens coming to you from Zurich with Blessings from White Christmas.
Yay!
Hi, Amanda and Sam. This is Blessings, dedicated to Amanda's mom in gratitude for her 40 plus years of nursing, which is amazing. Instead of sheep, and I
That is just a very emotional thing.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. It's nice to hear your friends' voices. Like
That's true.
that's just we're all missing that so much, right?
Every single one of these videos is just so special. So
Well, thank you
Yeah.
for doing
Thanks for doing
it.
it.
We've got
yeah,
I'm
keep it
here, yeah.
together, dear. Keep
Come
it
together.
together.
yeah. It was so nice talking to you, and thank you so
You
much
too.
for joining me tonight.
We love you, friend.
I love you too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Fonzie After 5. I think we've learned not to place heavy objects above enticing Christmas presents. And if you see a man running up the embankment of the freeway with a chainsaw, it might just be Sam about to cut down his Christmas tree. Oh, that one got me. A big thank you to Amanda Majeski, Sam Handley, Madison Leonard, and Shea Owens. Merry Christmas, everybody. And remember, it's after 5 somewhere. Fonzie after 5.